Hello everyone, and here is our next modelled right lesson. So we're going to look at another question type, a different sort of question, as well as a new topic. And of course, we can see that today we'll be looking around the topic of work, which is of course very common in IELTS, all sections of the IELTS test. So let's jump right in and take a look at this question. So here we have our question and of course our plan, and I'll say it once more. When you receive your question, you really want to have read it and planned within 2 minutes. So let's read our question. The only reason to work hard is to earn money. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Now, I'm thinking this is pretty straightforward. Question sentence. The only reason to work hard is to earn money. And our type of question that we have at the end, agree or disagree. So I must only agree or I must only disagree, not both for this question type. By its nature, an agree or disagree question also requires that I give my opinion in the conclusion. Okay, so let's take a look at our plan. So let me think. The only reason to work hard is to earn money. I disagree. I think that is not completely true. Of course, there is no one correct answer here. You can be, as long as you give examples, it doesn't matter whether you agree or disagree. Now, the only reason to work hard is to earn money. I disagree with this. So in supporting paragraph 1, I probably want to explore 2 reasons why I disagree in supporting paragraph 1 and 2 reasons why I disagree in supporting paragraph 2. So that's 4 reasons altogether. And the reason for this is because without doing this, I'd be a little bit low on my word count. It may sound like a lot of different examples to give, but 3 or 4 should be okay as long as I give lots of examples and describe my ideas in detail. Okay, so supporting paragraph 1, why do I disagree with this? Well, I think up first I would say self-improvement. Remembering that I don't write long sentences in my plan. Self-improvement and building self-worth. Self-worth. So they're kind of similar things. Self-improvement. So finding new hobbies, learning about new skills. We can say developing skills and understanding. I suppose really this is 2 or 3 points all under the same idea of building self-worth and self-improvement. So we have self-improvement, such as skills and knowledge, building self-worth and developing skills and understanding, learning new things from our work. I think that really that would probably be enough to go off in my first supporting paragraph. And it's quite nice because there's probably 2 or 3 things I can say here about improving ourselves, but it's in the same topic. So I'm not talking about self-improvement and then going on to talk about charity in the same supporting paragraph. It makes sense to discuss all this in one paragraph. Right, let's go on to supporting paragraph 2. Okay, why else do I disagree? The only reason to work hard is to earn money. I'm going to say to help others and charity. I think it's important that we work hard to help others, but maybe also to give us the opportunity to be charitable. And again, it's kind of one main idea, this sort of helping and charity, but we could probably split this into 2 parts. So I could talk about how work can help others. For example, in an office job, if I work hard, maybe for the boss, it's more organized, or in a call center, I'm able to help people who call in if I work hard and give them advice. And for charity, I could maybe talk about a little bit more and give some examples about how if I work hard and earn money, I can be more charitable. So similar topics, it's a really nice way of grouping this. We have similar topics within the same supporting paragraph. Self-improvement, self-worth, supporting paragraph 1. Supporting paragraph 2, help others and charity. So similar ideas linked in the same supporting paragraph. And my opinion, I'm just going to put disagree. We don't really need to add that in, but it does just help me to remember I disagree. One important thing that we must do when we're writing is to maintain, to keep a straightforward idea, to not flick and flip between agreeing and disagreeing. That would affect my task achievement score, which would mark me lower. So I need to really stick with one idea, with one main point. Either agree or disagree, not both, because then you would score really low in terms of task achievement. You've not completely answered the question. Okay, so that's it. My plan is ready, and I think now it's about time that we start writing. Okay, so I'll have to think back to my plan, but of course we'll begin with our paraphrased introduction. The only reason to work hard is to earn money. Some people feel that the main purpose, synonym reason, of working hard is working hard, or how else could we paraphrase this? Some people feel that the main purpose, editing whilst we write, the main purpose of hard work, of giving 100% in our workplaces is to gain more money. Okay, so I've kind of actually added again to this short paraphrased sentence here. So I've made mine a bit longer. The only reason to work hard is to earn money. Some people feel that the main purpose of giving 100% in our workplace or workplaces, workplace maybe sounds better, is to gain more money, is to earn money, to gain more money. I could maybe use a synonym for money, is to gain more financial freedom. I don't think we have to change everything. I think that's perfectly fine. Okay, paraphrased sentence complete. Now on to plan. In this essay, as always, I will give reasons and examples for why I disagree with this statement. Again, as always, this plan sentence in our introduction paragraph is always very similar. So it's kind of a good sentence to have because it's pretty much always going to be accurate as long as we stick to the plan, to the formula that we have. Okay, firstly, I will discuss the benefits of self-improvement, the benefits of working hard on overall well-being, a nice word, and a word that's also very popular in the last year or two, overall well-being and self-worth. And secondly, I will consider how working with focus can help other people achieve around us. Okay, so that's kind of saying about helping others and charity here. Let's just read this back. Firstly, I will discuss the benefits of working hard on overall well-being and self-worth. And secondly, I will consider how working with focus, working hard, working with focus, pretty much the same thing, can help other people achieve around us. I didn't say charity. I suppose that is this statement here, but that's okay. I don't have to explicitly say everything now. Okay, so let's begin with my plan on self-improvement and building and developing skills. So maybe I'll start with that, self-improvement and skills, and then second, in supporting paragraph 1, I'll talk about self-worth and overall well-being, that feeling of satisfaction when we achieve something at work. To begin with, I feel that, so I'm already giving my opinion here, I feel that it is important to really give maximum effort at work, not just for money. I almost use brackets, not just for financial gain. I'll use that phrase I discussed earlier. I feel that it is important to really give maximum effort at work, not just for financial gain, but also to develop your personal skills and understanding. So this learning journey that we can have. To begin with, I feel that it is important to really give maximum effort at work, not just for financial gain, but also to develop your personal skills and understanding. It seems clear to me, a nice opening conjunction. It seems clear to me that by trying new activities in our workplace, in our place of employment, trying to avoid using work too often here, and of course checking the spellings as we go. It seems clear to me that by trying new activities in our work, in our place of employment, we can really develop new skills. For example, if a person tries hard to, well, let me just consider this here. So we're talking about we can really develop new skills. We can learn something new. For example, if a person works hard on a task, let's use some brackets, and gives 100% focus to it. So this bracket here is just showing off something extra we have in our English fluency locker. If a person works hard on a task and gives 100% focus to it, then they will have the chance of gaining new knowledge. It's almost what I said in the first sentence, my topic sentence, but this just gives, the example here just gives a bit more of a specific piece of understanding. So I'm talking specifically if you work hard on something and you focus on it, maybe we could even put this in italics. It will give, you'll have the chance of gaining new knowledge. So that's really what I wanted to talk about in terms of learning new skills. And I was also talking about overall well-being too. Furthermore, by achieving and completing work well in a person's employment. So we have our apostrophe here for possession, person's employment. By achieving and completing work well in a person's employment, they will also gain a feeling of self-worth. Okay, let's read this back. So we're on to my second point of supporting paragraph 1, which is talking about sort of self-worth and well-being. So not just for money, but working hard at work, in our employment, can just make us feel good. Maybe part of a community is something else that we could say too. Furthermore, by achieving and completing work well in a person's employment, they can also gain a feeling of self-worth. in our modern societies. So I'm just going to add a bit of detail here and saying why well-being and self-worth is important. In our modern societies, well-being is very important to allow people to feel safe and part of a community. So I'm actually, in this supporting sentence here, just giving a bit more information about self-worth. What is it? So I'm still answering the question, but I'm in fact kind of almost explaining why I'm talking about this. Furthermore, by achieving and completing work well in a person's employment, they can also gain a feeling of self-worth. Why is that important? In our modern societies, well-being is very important to allow people to feel safe and part of a community. Okay, great. So I've got my topic, I've got my support, and I might just give a quick example here. I'm not going to start with for example or for instance. I'm just going to jump straight into this and say there has been a huge rise in adult depression globally within the last 10 years. Okay, so this is again just giving a bit more detail about this. Furthermore, by achieving and completing work well in a person's employment, they can gain a feeling of self-worth. In our modern societies, well-being is very important to allow people to feel safe and part of a community. There has been a huge rise in adult depression globally within the last 10 years. I think here, just to bring it back, just to try and come back to the question, because really this sentence here sort of is saying another example of why it's important to work hard, not just for money. And really these two sentences explain in a bit more detail, but just to bring it back to the question, I'll add a hyphen. There has been a huge rise in adult depression globally within the last 10 years, and success within work can have a positive effect on this. A really nice piece of writing there, because we almost sandwich the question. So this is answering the question, and this is explaining in more detail, and this is bringing it back to the question. So almost sort of sandwiching the ideas here between this and giving more detail. Very nice structure. Okay, so let's jump into my supporting paragraph 2. I might actually only I might make this a little bit shorter, because just looking at this, remembering we want to aim for around 260 to 280 words is good. I'm not counting the words, but I'm just looking at this and using my experience to say, if I was to write another paragraph that was that long, we're probably going to be going well over 300. So I might keep this supporting paragraph 2, maybe just a sentence shorter. So skip that last example at the end. That's fine. Okay, so my second point to say why it's important to work hard, not other than just to consider money, was for charity and helping others. So I'll start with helping others first. In addition to this, by working hard, we can also really help other people with their problems too. Two. Okay, pretty straightforward, my topic sentence here. In addition to this, by working hard, we can also really help other people with their problems too. I'm just going to go back to the question again. As much as money is important to almost all people, helping others is a very noble task as well. So I'm again just revisiting the question just to make sure that I'm answering this. The only reason to work hard is to earn money. And actually I'm saying, yes, money is important, but helping others is a very noble task as well. As much as money is important to almost all people, helping others is a very noble task as well. For instance, I haven't used that yet. And I'm going to use the call center. In a call center, people will call with a range of questions and inquiries. So I'm actually going to finish the sentence here, and then I'm going to continue this kind of example. For instance, in a call center, people will call with a range of questions and inquiries. Staff at this workplace can endeavour, a nice piece of language there. Endeavour, I think, is that correct? Endeavour to solve any customer queries, and can answer more calls if they intend to work very hard. Okay, let's just read this back. Let's go from here. For instance, in a call center, people will, shall we say, ring in, so we're not repeating call. For instance, in a call center, people will ring in, a little bit informal, but it's okay, with a range of questions and inquiries. Staff at this workplace can endeavour to solve any customer queries and can answer more calls if they intend to work very hard. So another reason to help more people. I also mentioned charity. As well as this, we can consider charity as a very important consideration when working hard, when focusing, when giving 100%. I use that again, giving 100% in our work. Okay, let's read this back. As well as this, we can consider charity as a very important consideration when giving 100% in our work. Often, this may lead to us, often, I want to say effort and diligence, a nice piece of vocabulary, may lead to us being more financially, I'm spelling terribly here, financially successful. And in turn, this means we can give more to charity. Not a bad idea here at the end. So just in terms of charity, we've got more spare finance to help and give more to charity. So let's just read this back. I think I'll make this my last sentence here. So really, when talking about charity, I've kind of summed it up in just 2 sentences instead of the usual 3 or 4. As well as this, we can consider charity as a very important consideration when giving 100% in our work. Often, effort and diligence may lead us to being more financially successful. And in turn, this means we can give more to charity. Now, I've used a comma here. Some of you may be saying, well, you don't really need a comma. I think that this is its own clause in itself, including the and. So I'm going to put a comma in here. You could possibly argue, even with advanced native English writers, that it possibly doesn't need a comma, but I actually like it here, part of style, to separate this clause. Okay, so let's move on to the final paragraph, which is, of course, our conclusion. And I'm just going to do this in 1 sentence. I've really given my opinion all the way through, but I'm just going to write to conclude, or maybe I will use to as normal. To conclude, there are many reasons that a person should work hard in their employment. I disagree my opinion, I disagree that money is the most important reason to give top effort at work. Straightforward, simple, and you can't disagree with the conclusion here. I've just sort of said to conclude there are lots of different pluses and minuses. Pretty much always use this in a conclusion, and then I've just given my opinion. So I could say, in my opinion, I disagree, but I'm just going to go straight in and say I disagree that money is the most important reason to give top effort at work. Or should I say the only reason probably would be a little bit better. So let's just go back to that. Is the only reason to give top effort at work. Okay, so that looks pretty good to me, and I think the last thing to do is, of course, if this was in the exam, I would go through and just edit a little bit more, although it's always good to edit as you write. I'm going to say this is actually a little bit long. Let's just check the word count now. Okay, so this is, yes, definitely a little bit long at around 354 words. So maybe I should have cut it down a little bit. However, I did manage to write this well within the time limit. Of course, I've written a lot of these, so it's a little bit quicker for me. But yeah, pause the video, have a good read through. There's nothing wrong with spending, reading through these sort of Band 9 essays and reports once or twice a day for a week or two. Repetition and reading is super important. And to be honest, I would in fact recommend that you maybe read, pause the video and read through twice. Have another look tomorrow, pause the video and read through a few more times. Go back to those scripts and keep reading through, and you'll find that through repetition and time that the structures will become more natural to you. Okay, so I will see you in the next lesson.